I found a few items at the thrift store that I instantly realized would make a great riser when paired together. These wood coasters, salt and pepper shakers, I love the detail on them. They reminded me of spindles, and these beautiful semi-milk glass bowls. I cut the tops of the shakers off at two different heights so they would be flat instead of rounded, and then sanded the center of my coasters to remove the varnish and the bottom of the shakers. This is gonna help the glue adhere the surfaces together better. I'm using my Dollar Tree wood glue super glue to attach the two wood pieces. I love this glue. If you haven't tried it yet, you need to pick it up. Next, I painted them with burlap by Dixie Belle, but left the tops of the shakers unpainted. That way, when I glue the glass down, it will adhere to the wood and not to the paint. I used E6000 to glue the glass on top and let that set overnight. I was going to leave it like this, but thought the white in the glass wasn't really meshing with the flat burlap paint, so I took Cottage White by Folk Art and added a heavy dry brush. That's it for this one. I've really been enjoying a more vintage style lately, and I think these are perfect to incorporate into my home. Next up, I have this beautiful basket. I believe I found this one at the Goodwill bins, and I had several ideas of what I wanted to do with it. I started out wanting to paint a green sack stripe on the top. I found another new color by Waverly at my Walmart called Sandstone. Does anyone else still have Waverly paint in their stores? I know so many content creators can no longer buy Waverly starting about a year ago, but my store has been coming out with new colors. I don't know why they're not consistent, but happy that I can still buy it. Anyways, after I painted 3 stripes on, I really didn't like it, so I did my best to remove the paint with water. I couldn't get into all the nooks and crannies, so I got what I could off and then took some watered down sandstone paint and brushed it over the entire basket to blend it in. Now I wanted to try printing on fabric and adding it to the basket. This was such an easy process. I took a piece of computer paper and this Gorilla adhesive spray, sprayed the paper, and then put a piece of canvas drop cloth on top of the paper. You want to make sure you smooth the fabric out really well so there's no wrinkles or lumps. Then I did a rough cut around the paper with scissors to cut off the excess fabric, but also went back in with my rotary blade to cut right along the edge of the paper. Then you can stick it into the printer and print out your design. I found this image on Etsy from a shop called Graphique. I did pay $1 for the digital download, and I'll link the shop in my description box if you're interested in this design, but this shop also has tons of beautiful graphics you can choose from. After my image was printed, I'm removing it from the paper, and the adhesive did not make the fabric sticky whatsoever. I definitely thought that it would, but then I cut it down to the size I wanted for the front of my basket. I pulled a few of the loose threads around the edges to add some more detail and an aged look, and then I hot glued the fabric onto the basket. Next, to give the whole basket an even more of an aged look, I took my DIY dark wax and brushed it all around the basket, including over the edges of the fabric. For a final detail, I'm adding these brass tacks to the corners. I did cut the tack piece off of the backs and just glued them down. That's it for this one. I added some lavender and love the way this looks. Friends, I always forget to mention this, but I do have a website where I sell some of my DIY projects and thrifted finds. I only list what I think is going to ship and hold up well over time, but the link is always in my description box in case you're interested. For this project, I had bought this mirror thrifting and made it over once, which you will see in a video that's coming out in a few weeks, but I didn't end up liking how it turned out. So I'm just taking the frame and gonna create something different. Again, I'm using burlap by Dixie Belle and painted over the frame. After the burlap paint was dry, I'm spraying it with a clear sealer. I want to add a second color and then distress it back so that the burlap shows through. For the second color, I'm using Black Velvet by DIY Paint. This is slightly less deep of a black, and I really love the way that it looks. Once the black paint was dry, I'm taking a baby wipe to wet distress it. This is why you want to add the sealer between the two colors, otherwise you would remove both paints. Now I'm taking the cardboard backer to the frame and covering it with canvas drop cloth. And for the art in this frame, I got this idea from Pinterest. I'm going to make a tree and I want it to feel very organic and three-dimensional and from nature, like it's a living piece of art. The trunk of the tree is made with rope. You can find nautical rope at the Dollar Tree, and I unraveled the bottoms of the rope to be the base of my tree. Since I want this to be three-dimensional, I also want parts of the tree to pop out off of the frame. So I hot glued the rope down and then spread out the tops of the rope to look like branches. Now for the greenery of the tree, I'm using 2 different colors of moss. I got these from Hobby Lobby. You could use Dollar Tree if you wanted. However, I think this moss was a little bit better only because it was already clumped together, making it much easier to work with and less messy. Once I had all of the moss laid down, I took some masking tape to clean up any of the little bits of moss that were loose. Then to make sure it all stays in place, I sprayed it with a clear matte sealer. That's it for this one. I think it is so fun and different, but let me know what you think. For this project, I found this green fairy light bulb at the Goodwill bins and knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. Turn it into a succulent terrarium. And I love the leather strap, but not the green color. I removed the fairy lights from inside and gave the bulb a scuffed sand, and then I gave it 3 coats of cottage white by Folk Art, painting in a crosshatch pattern for better coverage. Next, I need to cut the front out to make the terrarium. I freehand sketched out where I wanted the opening and then used my wood burning tool to melt through the plastic. I went around the whole line once, not going all the way through, and then went back and started melting all the way through. I realized while doing this though, it's better to make a hole in the plastic and then slowly melt the plastic, pulling the burner towards you. I was trying to melt through a layer by layer and the top of the opening ended up curling up, looking a little bit strange. I went over all of the edges with my burning tool to smooth them out a bit and then painted the inside white as well. Then I glued some floral foam into the bottom. I bought a variety of fake succulents from Hobby Lobby. I know the angle of this is a little difficult to see, but I just glued them down into the floral foam. The melted plastic edge at the top was really bothering me, so I grabbed a piece of 4mm macrame cord and covered the opening. Oh, I didn't show it, but I painted the silver part of the top black to go with my aesthetic a little bit better. I was going to stop here, but thought it needed one last detail, so I searched through my Dollar Tree rub-on transfers and picked out this tribal looking one. I just cut out the arrows and applied a few vertical pieces around the bulb. Now that completes this one. It's a little bit more modern than the rest of today's projects, but I still love how it turned out.